Hey pen people! Today I want to show you my weird pens. In my time as a fountain pen enthusiast, I've collected a few pens that are really nice writers, really good to use on a day-to-day basis, and I've also gotten some weird ones, or just some that are unique and different and have kind of a special place in my collection, not necessarily because they're the best writer, even though some of these are very good writers, but because they're just unique and special and maybe even one of a kind. So I want to run through those pens with you today, show you what they are. They're mostly fountain pens, though I do have a few ballpoints as well as a mechanical pencil. So this should be fun. Okie dokie, let's bring these out. Oh, nope, not that one. Okay, I promise, despite popular belief, I am careful with my pens, I promise. Okay, so here's what we've got, and in no particular order, I'm just gonna grab one. Okay, so this is the Tightener fountain pen. I can't remember if it has a model name or if it's just the Tightener fountain pen. I don't know. Tightener tactical fountain pen. I have this in my weird category because it is a tactical fountain pen. How many tactical fountain pens are there? It's a pretty common thing in the ballpoint world, I think, in the EDC world, but not in the fountain pen world. So we've got a Bach nib there, but on the end here we have a tungsten tip. The whole pen is made out of titanium, by the way, but then we have a tungsten tip here. So very hard metal. A little sharp, not too terribly sharp, but I could see how using that for self-defense might interest some people. It would also probably, I'm guessing, be good at, you know, the whole window breaking kind of thing if you, in emergencies. Don't hold me to that. Don't sue me if it doesn't work. But yeah, kind of an interesting one. A tactical fountain pen. I'll set this aside here. Let's see. Let's go with this one. This one has seen better days, as you can tell. I did not do this to the clip. This was my wife's grandmother's pen. She knew that I was getting into pens, and so she gave me her Parker 21. So this is an old vintage pen. My understanding is it's the little brother of the Parker 51, which is a very sought after vintage pen. The 21, not so much. I looked it up on eBay a while back and I wasn't very impressed with what I was seeing. But I think this is just the budget version. This is the entry-level kind of version of the Parker 51. It's a hooded nib, so that's kind of interesting. Mine, the section is cracked, so I can't really use it. I think the nib was dropped face down as well, so it's it's scratchy to the point of tearing paper. So not a very usable pen at all, but definitely an interesting one. It's just got a friction fit cap there. It's got kind of a squeeze converter, which is interesting. I know that these were a thing maybe a long time ago, but the only place I've seen them more recently is on the Pilot Metropolitan. So kind of interesting. Yeah, so not a pen I'm ever going to use, but it's an interesting piece in my collection nonetheless. Okay, so there's that one. Let's go with the smallest one in my collection. I have not actually inked this up yet because it's not really a pen that appeals to me a whole heck of a lot, but it is an interesting one. My pen friend Sarah sent this to me a while ago along with a lot of other pen stuff. Like she sent me a whole bunch of empty ink bottles and some full ink bottles, which was super helpful for a video I did a while back about the best ink bottle. So if you want to check that out, I'll put that on the screen. It's a fun video. Anyway, so this is a Monteverde Poquito, and it is very poquito, very small. So for comparison's sake, here is a Kaweco Sport. When it's capped, the Poquito is actually a little longer, but when you take the cap off, this thing is so little. Let me take this cap off too. Okay. Look at that. It's so small. It's so small that this grip section is like ½ an inch. It's not even big enough for my fingers. It's so little. And of course, the idea is, like a lot of pocket pens, it becomes long enough to use comfortably with the cap on. I could see this tiny little grip section being a problem for some people though. All right, let's get this eyesore out of here. This is just a swag pen, but I kept it around just for laughs. You know, it's just a ballpoint pen, but it's got a back scratcher on it, which broke right as I was about to make this video, but it's supposed to telescope out of the pen and be a back scratcher, not an arm scratcher. I don't know why I did that, but just to demonstrate, I guess. Anyway, so goofy pen that is broken. I will probably just toss this. I don't have any use for it. And now that I've made this video, I think that I've gotten enough amusement out of this, and I don't need it anymore. Okay, you know what? I just realized I forgot one because it's in this pen sleeve because it's extra special and I want to keep it nice. And this one is not necessarily rare or super duper unique. You can buy this one, but it is the Benu Edelweiss, the Talisman Edelweiss, and it's just such a pretty pen. But the thing that makes this really unique, the reason that it's in this video as being kind of a weird pen, is the fact that they actually ground up Edelweiss flowers and mixed that powder into the resin. So this Edelweiss pen actually has some Edelweiss flower in it. So that's a cool thing they do with their Talisman lineup. They name it after a certain material, and then that material is generally included in the pen, which is kind of cool. And it's certainly unique in my collection, and I think that what Benu does is pretty unique in the fountain pen world in general. So it definitely deserves to be in this video. Okay, here is a very strange one. I used it once, don't love it. It's got a rubberized body and it's old, so that rubber is all sticky and it's, you know, you can see it's clinging to all kinds of nasty stuff. This is a, where's the brand? Penatia. It's a Penatia pen. I looked it up once. If I remember correctly, Penatia is kind of like a budget brand underneath Cross. Like Cross is the parent company, I believe. I don't know if Penatia is still around. I think this pen is sort of old. I don't know if it's quite vintage or not, but kind of a weird pen. The weird part to me, the especially weird part, not just the rubberized body there, but also just this nib is so weird. Let me zoom in. No breather hole, which is not exactly unique. I've got other pens that do that, but just the shape of it and the branding of it, it almost looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Just really weird little pen. When I used it, I don't think I had any complaints about how it wrote, but it's just weird and, I don't know, just kind of dinky feeling overall. That's kind of a dead giveaway. Ugh, yeah. Kind of cheap, but kind of weird. I'll probably end up getting rid of this one too. I think this goes in the back scratcher category. Okay. This one is absolutely unique. This is very different. It's a ballpoint. And what this is actually, it's just a Bic refill. Refill's not the right word because you just throw the whole thing away. But it's a Bic cartridge, I guess I'll say. And it just fits in there like that. It cracked on me, so I actually just had to use pliers to pull this thing out before I made this video. So that's kind of unfortunate. But anyway, the story to this is my brother served a mission for our church in Mozambique. And there were markets full of people carving wood and selling their artwork. And so he commissioned some stuff from one of those people, and this is one of the things he got. And so yeah, it's cool. It's just, again, it's just designed to take your basic Bic cartridge, stick it in there and write. If I really want to use this someday, I'll probably just wrap some tape around here and it will work perfectly fine. But for now, it's just kind of a collection piece. I don't really need to write with a Bic, you know, when I have a lot of other options, but this is so cool. It's handmade, even though I'm sure the guy who made it was making a lot of these. still, when you hand make something, it's going to be kind of unique. And this is wood. It's black, and that is apparently the natural color of this wood. It's a very interesting wood. I can't remember what it's called, but very cool pen in my collection. Before we move on to the next one, please consider hitting the like button to help this video spread to more pen and paper lovers. Okay, sticking with the handmade category, let's look at this one. This is a Mythic Pens extra large Skittles, I believe. And so yeah, made by Mythic Pens, really cool, small maker, definitely check them out. This is a fairly basic and understated one compared to what they're doing now. I was talking to Brad, I think his name is, who does Mythic Pens, and at the time when I got this pen, it sounded like he was in kind of a transition phase toward doing different things with his pen making. I think that he was probably doing a lot of learning. I won this in a giveaway, actually, so it's like a $250 pen, but I won it. It's made with, I think, a Conway Stewart resin blank, so it's hand turned on a lathe. Really cool. It's got clear, black, and blue resin in there. So very cool pen, but very basic as far as hand turned pens go. It's very chunky, and I like it a lot, but again, what he's doing now just feels much more advanced. But I still consider this to be a different and unique pen because it was handmade from a cool blank. And even if he made a bunch of these, none of them are going to look exactly this way. And I don't think he did make any others with this material. This is the only one I ever saw him post about on Instagram. So I think this pen is kind of one of a kind. And I think that's pretty cool. Okay, so now let's look at this one. This is my mechanical pencil. And to talk about this one, I also have to talk about this one. And this one. These were my grandfather's. He passed away in January, and I inherited his special writing equipment. And these are just treasures to me. This is the least unique of the bunch, but it's special. I think this was probably the last pen he ever used on this earth. So it's special to me, even though it's just kind of a generic, nice, very nice cross ballpoint, but just kind of a generic one that you could probably find at an office store or whatever. So nice pen, not that unique, but it is special to me. These two are very unique though. Let's start with the mechanical pencil here. So this is a Parker mechanical pencil, and it says Johnson & Johnson on the side. It might, to the untrained eye, this pen might just look like free swag that you pick up somewhere. But this is not. This is actually a very nice mechanical pencil. This is probably, I don't know, 40 years old or more, and it looks brand new. It's really nice. And to give you an idea of the quality of it, I've got a very cheap Parker Jotter here, and just look at the differences in the clip there. Very different, right? So this is definitely like the cheap mass-produced. This is like, I don't even know how they make that, but it's very pretty. So yeah, my grandpa got this for a work anniversary from Johnson & Johnson. He had a long career for Johnson & Johnson, and this thing still works like it's brand new. It works so well. I'm used to mechanical pencils being a little bit finicky, but this has been not at all finicky. It's been really nice to use. I love it. Now, this is a cross as well. A little bit fancier than this other one. This I assume is gold plating. It's got a really nice color to it. And up at the top here are some interesting things. You can probably see, hopefully you can see this. It says 1/20th 14 karat gold filled. I'm wondering if that's referring to this. I wonder if this is a chunk of 14 karat gold. I don't know, but kind of cool. And this, so it's another work anniversary pen that my grandpa got. And I believe that is a real emerald in there. Could be wrong, could be some kind of costume jewelry thing, but I think it's a real emerald. Yeah, so this is very unique and very special. And yeah, very different. All right, let's look at some old Sheaffer pens that I have. We'll look at this one. This is a Gravitas, but it is kind of unique. I'll explain that in a minute. And then we'll talk about my Montblanc, which is very, very unique. Anyway, so got 3 Sheaffer pens here. I'm not super clear on the models or the years they were made, but they are pretty vintage, and all I can tell online is that these are school pens. These are Sheaffer school pens of one kind or another. So just kind of one of their cheap, practical, everyday use kind of things. Nothing fancy at all. So friction fit caps, a cool old style nib that don't think you really see these days anymore. And you can see this one's really crusty and gross. I got these secondhand. My in-laws run a secondhand shop, and sometimes I get cool old pens from them. That's where this one came from. I don't know if I mentioned that, but yeah, they're pretty cool. I have done my best to clean them up. This one, I still, after so much dish soap and so much soaking and different things, it's still kind of gunked up. This one works pretty well, if I remember correctly. It does have a crack, or maybe a couple of cracks up in here. So they're old. They're not exactly the nicest, but they are not something you see every day. And so I kind of consider those to be a unique, special part of my collection. Oh, and then this one. This one is really cool. This is a nicer Sheaffer pen. Still not like luxury or anything, but still a step up from those school pens for sure. So this is a Sheaffer Sentinel, I believe. And if I'm not mistaken, one thing that's really interesting about this pen is the nib. I believe this nib was made for them by Sailor. So it's a Sheaffer pen with a Sailor nib on it. And it's interesting, this one has been loved and used so much by the previous owner that the gold plating is all but worn off, and you can see the steel underneath. So it's got this cool dual-toned look to it. It's kind of fun. I have used this pen a bit, and it is a good writer. I've struggled with some messes, I think probably because I have the wrong kind of cartridge in here. The standard international cartridge fits really well, but it's probably not really hugging things in here the way it's supposed to, because Sheaffer's got their own proprietary thing going on. So I don't know. Wow, I'm getting all inky. Anyway, maybe I'll try it again with an actual Sheaffer cartridge one of these days, but it's a cool little pen. It's pretty. Like, look at that clip. That's nice. It's a cool pen. All right, so this is my Gravitas Entry. You can still buy Gravitas entries. Gravitas is still a thing, but Gravitas has changed quite a bit since I bought this. And so Ben Walsh from Ireland, who started Gravitas pens, he's an engineer. He's kind of the Tony Stark of the fountain pen world. He just engineers the crap out of fountain pens and comes up with all of these new innovative things to do. So this is an aluminum pen. It's anodized with this cool rainbow effect. You can still get this, it's called the Skittles finish. You can still get that, I think, but it might be more of a gloss PVD finish rather than this matte anodized finish. So I could be wrong on that, but I think that the finish is a little different now. But Ben Walsh has, he used to kind of be a one-man show, more or less, and since then he has partnered with some other retailers and manufacturers to become more efficient in his process. But I got this back when it was, I think, basically just him. So kind of interesting. It's got a stainless steel grip section, hence the name Gravitas. It is pretty heavy, and it kind of pulls your hand forward toward the page, which in theory is really cool. To me, this pen is a little heavier than is comfortable, but it is a cool pen. It's got just a stock Jowo nib on it. These days, I don't think he has Jowo nibs anymore. I think he found another third party, and they've got his logo on them as well. So there are just different things, subtle things about this pen that even though they're still being made, this one's just kind of unique in my collection. Okay, and now, finally, I guess this is a good pen to end on. It's definitely the most luxurious of the bunch. So this is a Montblanc Meisterstuck. however you say that. I don't know exactly which model it is, like which size. I'm not a Montblanc person. But my brother-in-law found this at a yard sale in a bag of other pens and bought the whole bag for like a couple bucks. So I got this for free from my brother-in-law. He got it for pennies. And he looked it up, he did some research and found that it is a real Montblanc. And even though I'm not a Montblanc expert, there are things about this pen that really tell me it is a high-end luxury pen. So pretty sure it's authentic. The previous owner sprung the clip, which is a shame, but oh well, I guess it just adds to the character. It is a 90th anniversary pen, so it has that special nib on it. That's one of the reasons why I don't think this is a fake. I don't know if some cheapo fake company would bother with some special edition nib or whatever. So it's a gold nib, kind of cool there. It's got a fancy converter in there. And the other thing that really makes this pen unique, and it's another reason why I don't think this was a fake, is it's got an engraving on it. TD Sessions, something like that. And so, yeah, this used to be someone else's pen, and it was engraved. It was probably given to them as a gift, and someone had their name engraved in it, and that's kind of cool. I mean, sometimes I wish it didn't have that, and sometimes I wish that this cap was, you know, flush with the pen and all that kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, I have a Montblanc that no one else does, and that's kind of cool. And yeah, so a lot of character there. It's a really interesting pen. Okay, so these are the most unique pens in my collection. I think they're pretty cool. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Along with liking this video, the other great thing you can do to support my YouTube journey is just to watch another video. I think you might really like this one, but if not, YouTube seems to think you might like this one. Thanks for watching.